Hello there, Leo. Welcome into your general monthly reading. This will be for the month of April 2025. This is going to be a stellar month for you where you're going to be experiencing, even creating great levels of happiness for yourself and maybe even for other people. There's a feeling of you being this inspirational soul, this person with quality energy. And so people are going to find themselves more than ever appreciating you, appreciating your energy, what you bring to the table. There's a feeling of you being really helpful as well at certain points in different situations. And this leaves people feeling more rewarded because of you, more supported. And don't be surprised if this ends up being a month where you're, and other people as well, are prime examples in different ways of what goes around comes around. You know, your acts of kindness, assistance from the recent past and throughout this month start to pay off for you in the sense that people want to now or choose to now support you or gift you, help you. You receive good karma at certain points as well. Beautiful. But as well, I find that there are going to be throughout April certain random delights. It's almost this feeling from this card, from this imagery, that you're more than ever choosing to, and at times without meaning to, randomly appreciating the delights of life, these small things, the little bits and pieces of abundance to be admired. It just feels like you have a good head on your shoulders while really looking at things and experiencing things in such a grateful, strategic light, if that makes sense. It's like you're taking it all in, you're eating it up, you're very thankful is the energy coming through. Even when it comes to certain slip-ups, difficulties, obstacles, imperfections that are, being highlighted or standing out or just being noticed, but it doesn't feel like that's getting in the way of you really creating this very thankful, very happy, kind of energy. And the Freedom card. So you're going to find that this is a month where freedom takes a huge highlight, as far as what you've broken away from, released, or lost maybe, excuse me, as I said that really weird, lost from the past. It could be in regards to types of freedom that you currently have, but I wouldn't be surprised if, I want to say in Libra's reading, you're being pushed to think about levels of freedom that you have yet to acquire or create for yourself in your path moving forward. But I did hear the message when I pre-pulled this card of free as a bird. There's something about you just either roaming, exploring, going on adventures, just going through your day-to-day tasks, obligations, routines, and whatnot. But then maybe you have the ability to partially or fully set your own schedule. The twists and turns of your life are leaving you in this state of just flowing and being more free. Just kind of flowing with the punches is kind of the energy. But it's almost this feeling of, even in the midst of certain levels, types of structure in your life, or say expectations playing into this outside of you. You have to do this, we expect for you to do this, feeling very job related or something of the sort. It just feels like I keep getting an image from my perspective of somebody putting their arms out and, kind of pretending to fly like a bird while still being, somewhat, if not fully planted on this earth. And it's just, that's the energy that you are embodying and creating at this time. You may even find with that message coming through, the way it came through, you may find this is a time for you to be more childlike, or it's not to say you're going to be immature, maybe at certain points to an extent, but it's just this playfulness, that even goofiness that is needed, for you, for what you're applying yourself towards, committed to. But maybe even in regards to that situation, say again, for example, at work, it could be family's matters playing into it for some, or friends. It just feels a little bit uptight, a little bit too overly serious, and then here comes Leo to just randomly spark some sort of a shift, a change positively within the energy field. But we're moving on to transformation. Don't be surprised when, part of the reason why you're feeling free, more so to do what you do, and maybe to do what you want, but to do what you do and do it really well, is because of the fact that you've transformed a lot recently. But it feels like they're saying, let the transformation on a soul level continue. let it feel different, or even create this different energy, this different set of feelings and experiences that you deserve more than ever. So don't be surprised when throughout April at certain points you're just thinking, I feel different, I don't feel the same. Well, it's because you chose to make that change of residence or switch up your career somehow, to pick and choose. You more so diligently and strategically were picking and choosing as to who to bring forward with you, or who to continue with. Let's just put it that way. And so it feels to be a month, my friend, where you are very much experiencing results and these different feelings of importance once again, and more transformation and let's just say abundance throughout this month in different forms, because you have chosen to make change. We're winding back, and so this may more than ever highlight how much you've blossomed and are blossoming as a soul, but it may even highlight the fact that certain important big changes, switching things up in the near future is going to be key for you. And so naturally we're highlighting at this time how certain changes from the past have left things more abundant, more ideal, with more alignment currently. All right. I'm hearing change is a must. But the love card, I know this is a lot for the oracle. Where are we at? Oh, it's not even 7 minutes. Anyways, love is going to take a highlight in different ways, different forms, different situations. And this is, there's no exception to this, including self-love, self-care. I love on myself and I set the tone. I love on myself and treat myself with tender love and care. And this manifests or helps me manifest more of what I need and deserve. Maybe even a different type of love that you feel you're partially, if not fully, lacking at this time, at this point along your path. But I'm getting that it's not just you that's blossoming throughout April. There are different parts of your world, commitments, if you will, things of importance that are blossoming to your advantage. It's this feeling of you putting an effort in the past towards this and that you wish to see successful, but it just hasn't really picked up off the ground quick enough, or it kind of just hasn't really gone the distance or even began to just yet. And it feels like that's doing really well for you. There's also something about your loyal Leo heart standing out in the crowd. It's as if you speak from the heart at certain points. You actually care, and it shows, and then people notice, and it makes a difference. The last on the board is the trust card. So you're not only going to be trusting yourself and maybe your spiritual guides, but your intuition more than ever. Yeah, what you're feeling is what I'm hearing. But it's going to be a month where you can't help but feel a focus coming to be on who you can trust within your life. Say at work, I can trust this person, I can't trust this person. I partially trust this person, but what does that really say about them as a whole? You know what I mean? And so I feel that could apply to, literally any situation. But it feels like people more than ever are trusting you and what you're saying, what you're putting out there, what you maybe are predicting, like myself, what you're feeling. And so it seems to be a time where you're not only trusting your intuition more than ever, but other people are trusting your intuition and what you feel, what you're just assuming even. And so don't be surprised when people trusting your intuition and what you feel more so obviously increases your individual trust when it comes to what you feel accurately. Beautiful. Let's move on to the Wild Reflections Tarot. Probably should have got this out already, but working outdoors, typically, or sometimes the cards go flying. Anyways, for Leo to continue, in the rare occurrence that there ends up, that was the weirdest way to put it, in these rare moments throughout the month where you do feel a little bit stiff because of the energy, because of spiritual beings, or whatever the case may be, you may be an empath like myself, just take a deep breath. That's the first step. And then just do a little bit of a wiggle dance is what I'm hearing. Just shake it off a bit and get that release that you need. Don't sit or remain in stiff, uncomfortable energy. Your comfort is a must, all right? Even if you're doing nothing, even if you're alone, your comfort is always needing to be a priority. If someone's energy is uncomfortable, as long as you can or you have the choice to step away from that conversation, do what you have to do so. Randomly remember you have to do something, but I honestly feel like Spirit's saying you're not a good liar, so don't try to fib or, lie. So maybe exiting the conversation should happen in a more in a much smoother direction, where you drop a last and final comment and then just say, I got to step away, just be honest about it, because it feels like, and I can relate, when you choose to lie or fib, it just is quite obvious. It's not one of your skill sets. But the High Priestess, so a lot of witch hunts of the reading are being described, labeled, and viewed as a High Priestess. And this isn't just in regards to your spiritual protectors, is what I'm hearing. As the cards started to fly away, you may feel more than ever that you are an ultra protected individual, where a huge part of this has to do with your spirituality. So don't be surprised when the month of April really highlights the fact that you're really tuned in, you're really plugged in for a lot, or just the fact that you are a spiritual being. So it seems to be a month throughout April where there are going to be a lot of spiritual occurrences, moments of information coming in, downloads, if you will, symbols and synchronicities, a ton of angel numbers. But I wouldn't be surprised if symbols and colors, maybe even textures, patterns coming into play as far as how Spirit wants to get through. But also I'm getting that you're thinking about other people and how they don't always think about others. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that it's a bad thing to put yourself first, but it's almost, as I'm hearing this woman talking on the phone quite abruptly in the background, it's the sense of people needing to, at times, I don't know why this is coming through, needing to be more aware of their surroundings. Okay, I'm getting that for some reason, but at certain points I'm getting that as well. You may find that somebody or something is just kind of about to, or is popping your personal bubble, so there's something about personal space as well. But your connection to the moon is also relevant, as the beginning stages of this month, the first 6 days or so, maybe even more for some because of the shadow period, a week or two after Mercury retrograde is wrapped up. That's, playing into things. You might feel a little bit of a Mercury retrograde hangover where you feel a little bit sluggish. Again, the shadow period of a week or two could play into it. But then even the moon otherwise, in the majority of the month after the fact, is playing a key role. As the wind does pick up, I hope it's not adjusting the noise too much, the volume, if you will. But I really feel like the winds of change are taking place. If you have the ability to step away from a situation, say the energy shifts negatively against your favor, it's just a little bit chilly or uncomfortable, it could be spiritual, you're needing to step away. This is per se, for example, if you're hanging out at home and you have the ability, the space, the time to step away, and the energy just shifted negatively, then step away, go for a walk, go to the park, go for an adventure, or maybe there's an errand or two that you could now go run. Anyways, I'm feeling a bit spacey at this point along your reading, but we're moving on to the Fool card. Yeah, this really coinciding quite nicely, connecting back to the Freedom card, because it's this almost Fool-like energy about you where you're leaping a bit more. There's a hop and a skip within your step, a bit of a pep in your step coming back, or increasing. And it also feels like animals are coming into play. Random strays could be, for sake of comfort and maybe a message. But I wouldn't be surprised if there's, certain, say billboards, ads on a TV show, social media posts where animals are being shown to you for more than one reason. It feels like you as well have a lot going on within your mind. As far as, what you're hearing unnecessarily, or what you don't want to hear, could be in regards to, your spirituality going through your mind, as far as, going through your thoughts, your dreams, you name it. You could be an overthinker. You could just have a lot going on and you're just processing, taking things in and figuring things out for yourself. But there's also a feeling of you wanting to reorganize, maybe redevelop somehow, but I'm getting very much, say at home, you're wanting to tidy up, reorganize, get things into place, and you're going to feel more at ease, a lot better because of this. Let's look at the time. We are just about done with your reading. One last and final message. They're saying have patience, and you may even find otherwise that your patience is paying off. in the midst of this time where you're not forcing it, you're just flowing. You're, again, free as a bird, and you're more transformed than ever as you continue to transform. And they're saying that, once again, you are the high priestess, but you're going to find that this is a very gratitude-filled time to, go full circle with the reading that is as well full of happiness. All right? So those are your messages for April. I hope they were truly helpful. I am sending you so much love and light.